Okay, so here we go. It's 12:01. Hi, everyone. It's Wednesday. So, for some reason, I woke up this morning and I was just feeling a little bit. I think there's a little bit of a like an intellectual, cognitive thing going on for me. So, this is someone who made a huge impact on my life. This is Marshall Rosenberg. I had the good fortune of actually befriending him in his later years, shortly before his death, and yeah, just had a big impact on me in terms of his framework for thinking about the human experience. So he has the following to say: when the words "I feel" are followed by "that" or by a name, a noun, or a pronoun. So I feel that you, or I feel that they, and then fill in the blank. No feeling is likely to follow. What is likely to follow are thoughts, judgments, evaluations, opinion, criticism, and so on. So to make that a little more tangible, it's pretty normal for us in our day-to-day colloquial way that we express ourselves. And I do this all the time, is we'll say something like, I feel that you're being unreasonable, or I feel misunderstood by them, or in the positive sense, I feel they get me and they love me. And all I'm trying to point out here is that unreasonable, misunderstood, getting me, loving me, these are not feelings. These are interpretations that, and things can kind of get muddled. And it can get us into hot water. So just sort of trying to translate, when someone says, I feel that you're being unreasonable, what's really happening is I feel disgust or fear or anger. Like these are the feelings that sit beneath this label of, oh, they're being unreasonable, or I feel misunderstood by them. What's happening is probably there's a kind of sadness in there, right? There's a sense of hopelessness or a fear that I'm not going to be seen or heard. And then on the flip side, being seen really has more to do with the feelings of joy, love, and safety. So I'm just trying to tease apart the languaging that we often use. I feel upset, I feel betrayed, I feel fill in the blank, and actually teasing apart and saying, well, those aren't feelings, those are interpretations or concepts that my mind is layering into this experience. What I'm really feeling is, and then get in touch with the emotions underneath that. So running the risk of this might be too, I don't know, too out there. Let's give it a shot for a few minutes and see how this goes. So close your eyes. And as always, let's spend a couple of minutes just grounding. So just arriving in this moment right here, right now. Just noticing sounds, sensations in the body. I have the windows and doors open so I can also feel the breeze on my skin. So just noticing sensory experiences in this moment right here, right now. We don't choose the sensory experiences, they simply happen to us. We don't choose the sounds that we hear. We don't choose the breeze that we feel on the skin. So the goal here is simply to be open and just notice when something happens that touches any of our five senses, to simply be aware of it happening. And just settling into this state of mindfulness, just bearing witness. Noticing that everything's constantly changing. Oh, I just heard the sound, or I just felt that itchy nose. I felt whatever it might be. Just allow it to happen and just notice it. And then opening up to this idea of trying to detect the nuance, or sort of fine tuning our observational skills around our languaging. So oftentimes, like I said earlier, we'll say something like, well, I feel misunderstood. So drop into a memory that you have. I'm sure you've all felt misunderstood at some point. See if you can reactivate that memory. Where were you? Who were you with? Who was doing all of the misunderstanding? It could be a friend, parent, a child. It could be the person at the checkout counter at the grocery store. Doesn't matter. The main thing is that you're conjuring up this memory of, oh yeah, there I was, and this other person was misunderstanding me. So I felt misunderstood. And then just notice that, again, the language around feeling misunderstood, like misunderstood isn't in fact a feeling. And so it's a little bit confusing when we use that language. I felt misunderstood. And so what were the real feelings beneath that were being activated by this interaction? Maybe the feelings were frustration, annoyance, anger. So there's this peculiar gray area there. Like there's lots of words that we use that sort of muddy the waters. And I'm just trying to intentionally tease apart the feelings and the emotions from the interpretations or the judgments. So when this person said what they said, or they looked at me in the way that they looked, I quote unquote felt misunderstood. Really, I felt scared. I felt annoyed. I felt angry. There's some really foundational emotions that come up for us, and it's helpful to connect with. That's really what was going on. And then my mind layered in this narrative that, oh, they weren't understanding me. Or I felt misunderstood. And then I also want to sort of flip this into the positive realm. So it's not all just difficult, challenging situations. But think back to a time when you felt you felt seen, you felt loved. Who were you with? What were they doing or saying that maybe had you make this statement to yourself or even to them? Oh, I feel seen. I feel heard. And then again, just, you know, taking the risk of being overly precise here, but just noticing how seen is not a feeling. Love is a feeling. Joy is a feeling. So when they did what they did or said what they did, connecting with the feelings of feeling safe or loved. And again, we can really get caught up in the weeds in all of this. And so that's not my intention here, is not to sort of create some peculiar like linguistic precision issue. It's just bringing awareness to how we express ourselves and the languaging that we use, oftentimes silently, just to ourselves in our head. And I know I go through my days oftentimes using language like, oh, I felt so betrayed, or I felt this, or I felt that. And then I realized that those aren't feelings, those are my mind's interpretation. And there's something really satisfying and helpful about actually connecting with the underlying emotions that are there. So fear, sadness, disgust, anger. It's usually some combination of those core emotions that are at work when we use that kind of language, that interpretive, judgmental language. Take a deep breath in through the nose, slow exhale through the mouth, just shaking off whatever memory you conjured up that may leave you feeling frustrated or fill in the blank. I'm trying to not fall into my own trap here in terms of the language. And then hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another deep inhale. Slow exhale through the mouth. Make it as long and slow as you can. Relaxing the shoulders, the neck, throat, the hands, the belly, the feet. And then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes, come on back. Um, so yeah, just I hope this wasn't like too out there or too, I don't know, like philosophically pedantic or something like that. But I just thought it was an interesting experience. So here are some really common I feel descriptors that we use, right? I feel abandoned. I feel abused. I feel cheated. I feel insulted. I feel left out. Right? Just noticing like those aren't feelings, and there's nothing wrong with expressing ourselves in that way. I'm just going to try and draw attention to a deeper connection to self in terms of what is it? What's my interpretation when I feel insulted? Like, what are the feelings that are actually underneath that statement? Anyway, so that's the gist of it. See if you can notice yourself using that kind of language today. Hope that was helpful. Be well, everyone. Hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you.